Doctors, good morning. We are going to engage in two demonstrations of mind reading and predicting the future. First demonstration, we will use a book, a random book, a book that Erin requested. It was sent to her from Amazon. So I have not handled the book. It came packaged to Erin, not from me, from Amazon. And it is a book that she will then keep if she would so choose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Erin, please, to open the book in the beginning, the first chapter, second chapter, and I want you to find a paragraph, a sentence, and then I want you, please, to silently select a word, a meaningful word, a word with some import. And once you've done that, place your index finger under it, and then I'm going to have you silently count the number of letters in that word because I'm looking for patterns. And then I'll have you share with all of us the number of letters in that word once you've found that. And take your time because I want your selection to be comfortable and a free selection, and one that none of us will have any idea because we can't even see the book. So once you've found that area of the book, that sentence in the book, and that word, then I want you take your time and count the number of letters in that word, because I may have you then look at the word after it, and the word after that, and the word after that. They help us develop a sense of patterns. And once you have that word, please feel free to share the number of letters with us, not the word. Yes,
8.
8 letters. Very good. And what I want you to do is I'm going to have you now silently. I want you silently to spell that in your mind. I want you silently to spell that word over and over in your mind. Okay. And as you are doing that, you are creating a pattern. You are creating a sense of the value of that word. Now, I want you to look at the word directly after that. And I'm going to ask you, please, to silently count the letters in that next word, that second word, the one right after that. And once you do that, I then want you, if you will, to tell us the number of letters in that next word.
9.
9. Okay, so the first word we had 8 letters, and the second word we have 9. I want you to take that second word, if you will, and I want you, please, to silently spell it over and over in your mind's eye. Okay? And now I want you to go to the next word, and I want you, please, to count the number of letters in that next word. And once you do, I want you then to tell us how many letters are in that next word.
7.
7. Okay. So we had 8 letters, 9 letters, 7 letters. Now, I want you, please, to look at that the first word, the very first word, because I'm trying to get a perspective. I'm seeing a curve. Is the first letter of the first word, is that an E? Yes, okay, very good. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. And the second word I'm getting starts with a C. Is that correct? And the
Yes.
third word starts with an F. And the 3 words I am picking up, if this is correct, I am picking up enormous chocolate factory. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you allowing me into your mind to pick up patterns. Now, you have a deck of cards in front of you, yes? All right. Now, what I'm going to ask you to do is I want you to take that deck of cards and I want you to shuffle those cards until you feel they're thoroughly mixed. So you have no idea of the order of the cards, and none of us have any idea of the order of the cards, nor do we know what any of the cards are. And once you feel those cards are thoroughly mixed, I just want you to say they're thoroughly mixed.
They're thoroughly mixed.
Excellent. Now I'm going to ask you please to count 8 cards into a pile in front of you and then to discard the rest of the deck.
You said 8.
8, yes. Just 8 face down into a little packet and then discard all the rest of the deck. Then I'll have you, Dr. Martin, I want you to pick up that packet of 8 cards. We don't need to see it. And I'm going to ask you to mix those cards thoroughly face down so that, number one, you have no idea what those 8 cards are. Number two, you have no idea what order they're in. And once you feel they're thoroughly mixed and thoroughly randomized, then I want you to place the packet of 8 cards face down into your hand. I want you to pick up the top card, look at it, memorize it, put it right back face down on top of the packet.
Okay.
Now I'm going to ask you, please, to pick up an invisible die. And I want you to roll that die. You can roll it a couple of times. And I want you to roll it. And once you're satisfied with that invisible number that comes up on that die, none of us will know what that number is. Once you're satisfied with that number from 1 to 6, then what I want you to do is to take that number and count whatever number that is, 1, 2, top to bottom. And once you've done that, just tell us you've counted cards top to bottom to that number. Yes?
Okay. Okay.
You ready? Oh, okay. Okay. And once you're done, very
Done.
good. Now I'm going to ask you to do it again, to repeat that. The same number of cards from top to bottom. So we have no idea what your card is or the order it's in. Cards are back in the palm of your hand. Yes? I'm
Yes.
going to ask you to take that packet and deal face down 1, 2, 3, 4 cards across in a top row. And then that will leave you with 1, 2, 3, 4 cards dealt across in a bottom row. Okay?
Face down, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Very good. Once you're done, I'm going to ask you please to take your right hand and I want you to run it above the cards in the top row without touching them. And then you may stop, and I'm going to ask you please to the far right. I'm going to ask you to pick up that card that's to the farthest right and to discard it. If you want to look at it, you may. Only you will know if it's your card or not, okay? And it's discarded, yes? Now I want you to go to the bottom row. And I want you to run your hand up above those cards. And I want you to stop at the farthest right on the bottom row, pick up that card and discard it. Very good. Now, I want you to take the top row, please, and turn those cards all face up in place, where they are, as they are, face up. And then I'll have you turn the bottom row cards where they are, as they are, face up. You now actually see your card. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. Now, without letting us know, I want you to gently pick your card up and exchange it with the card to the left of it or the card to the right of it. And once you've done that, please just tell us you're ready.
I'm ready.
Very good. Now, none of us have any idea what your card is. None of us have any idea what any of the other cards are. So I'm going to ask you now, please, in the top row, starting with the card to your left, just to call off the 3 cards one at a time in the top row.
Okay.
Out loud,
T
huh?
10 of spades, three of hearts, ace
Yes.
of heart.
Very good. Now, I'd like you to do the same with the bottom row, just to call those out. Yes.
Okay. Eight of hearts, nine of spades,
Yes.
queen of clubs.
Very good. Now, you're looking at the rows. You all notice I placed a card inside an envelope earlier today, and it's been sitting in that envelope this entire time. Now, your card, am, am I seeing it in the top row? I didn't think so. I did not think so. So, only you know what your card is. Yes?
Yes.
And I made a prediction earlier today by putting this playing card into this envelope. I'm going to pull the card out of the envelope. And I'm going to ask you now, with the back to the screen, so none of us can see the face of your card, would you please pick your card up as well? Face to you, back to the screen. Very good. And this is great because I have a red back card and you have a blue back card. Would you now please tell us what is your card?
Nine of spades.
And would you please show it to us? Because the card I put in the envelope earlier today is, in fact, the nine of spades. Thank you all very, very much for letting me read your mind. Thank you.